Greetings, brothers. Welcome to the Blood Angels Commander channel.
Hello, welcome to Sunday night's live Army List show. Thank you so much for being here, brothers. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I always said there wouldn't really be a show if you guys didn't tune in every week. It's apparently the first day of the month. It is February. A month of 2026 has gone already. Interesting, huh? How can be a month gone already? As we do every Sunday night, we look at army lists. I feel like I've had a good number of games with Rage Curse now, so I can at least give a bit more 2 cents on that. So, if you'd like to get your list on the show, it's pretty easy. When the stream ends, all you got to do is comment your list, similar to the sort of lists you would see, like exported out of the Games Workshop app or Battlescribe or whatever. Just comment them in the comment section. If you support the channel in any way, like if you're a patron or you're a YouTube member, then you'll get your list reviewed quicker than if you're just a grey name, but we do try and get to everybody. So, hello, Quay Dog. Hey, Mike. Hey, PK Arjo. 88 Warhite says, I am new to 40k, I'm just starting Blood Angels. Is lag still string? I think he means, is lag still strong? Or is Rage Cursed Onslaught just better? Lag hasn't been strong for a while. A good place to check that out is the win rate. There's a website called StatCheck. I use it all the time. They also have a YouTube channel, StatCheck, and it gives you the win rate from like the most recent events and stuff. And I mean, typically if you look at Blood Angels, excuse me, I'm still a bit congested. Rage Curse Onslaught is sitting at a 55% win rate. Liberator Assault Group is all the way down at a 40% win rate these days. I guess a lot of people have moved over. 71 games played with Liberator Assault Group, 184 played with Rage Cursed, and only 36 games this week played with Angelic Inheritors. So yeah, I mean, people are definitely feeling like Rage Cursed Onslaught is the stronger of the three detachments. It's not as nuanced as Angelic Inheritors, but it's probably quite easy to play, right? You charge things, you kill things. I mean, that's kind of how Rage Cursed works. Who else did I say hello to? Boris, good evening. Thrillwood, Bad Francis, Vintage Flanker, Crycheck, Mr. Kazumi, Matthew Box is in the house. Good evening, Matthew. 55% win rate. Oh god, we're going to get the biggest nerf bat. I don't know if we will, because like there's armies that have been at 60% plus for the entire edition. Let's have a look at these Necrons. That detachment, Pathian of Woe, 67% win rate. I think they maybe have to address that if you know, if we're going to address somebody with a high win rate, maybe it's Pathian of Woe. But Games Workshop always do say they like armies to sit between 45 and 55. That's where they like them to sit. So maybe it's just our turn to sit reasonably high up the pack. I mean, if we look at historical data over the last 2 or 3, well, maybe longer than 2 or 3 years, if we go like the last 6 years, we've been sitting at 49, I think it was 48 or 49% for a long period of time. So, I mean, we're due a little while with a detachment that has over 50% win rate. I mean, if you look at Eldari, they were over 50% win rate for like 2.5 years there. And if we look at, who was the other army? It was like Imperial Knights. They were bonkers win rate as well for a little while. Where even have Knights gone now? Chaos Knights are still up there at 53%. Imperial Knights. Whoa, okay, they got hit. Okay. Yeah, but Knights were at like a 60% win rate for a while, right? I mean, maybe people are just not playing Knights at the moment. Maybe it's not that many people. Yeah, okay, it's very few people played Knights. Less than 20 overall. But yeah, win rates are a good indication of where we're at. Awful Gamer, thanks so much for coming. Remember, I do appreciate it. Pathion neutered my army bad. Yeah, the Pathion of Woe detachment looks really strong. I've seen a few people saying it was a 70% win rate army, but we've had a few weeks of data now, and it's typically been 67, 68. I think maybe last week it might have been 67 or 68 as well. So anyway, let's get fired into this week's first list. It's CJ Williams. He has been a subscriber for 3 years. Cool. He's got a 26-man winning RTT list, and he's playing Rage Cursed. Okay. So we have a captain with a jump pack with Fight First. We have a captain with a jump pack with a Thunderhammer, or we had 2. We've got a chaplain with the scout move. That's the scout move enhancement, right? We have a Mephisto and Dante and Lamartus. So quite heavy on the characters. 6 characters there. A unit of assault intercessors on foot. Unit Assault Intercessors on jump packs. A single Bile Predator, a single Death Company Dreadnought, 15 Death Company, 12 Sangry Guard, a 6, a 3, and a 3, and then a squad of Scouts. Okay, it's pretty standard-ish. Rage Cursed list. 1 Bile Predator, 1 Death Company Dreadnought. I don't mind that. I think it's decent. 15 Death Company maybe feels like a tiny bit too little. Like, I think the right number is 20 or 25. Like, Death Company are just that good. You've got Lamartas and you've got the Scout Chaplain. That's good. You've got all 3 Sangry Guard squads led, and obviously Dante can attach to a 3, and then your Fight First Captain could attach to a 6. That's good as well. Jump Intercessors and Assault Intercessors, I think they're a little bit weaker because they just hit at Strength 4 in Rage Cursed. I feel like I would just rather have Intercessors to Sticky and Objective, and I feel like Jump Intercessors are very average in this detachment. But, I mean, they're fine. Like, they can score you points. We have the unit of Scouts in there for scoring. We have Mephiston for lone operative stuff. I think overall this list is probably fine at 1 in RTT. If it was me, what would I be doing? I would probably be like losing Dante and or Mephiston for like the combi weapon lieutenant maybe, and some extra Death Company. I think 2 10-man squads of Death Company is really, really strong in Rage Cursed. I've played it a few times now. I really like having 20 Death Company. The Lamarta's units in reserve. The other unit with the Scout is deployed super aggressively. So I think it gives you quite a few options, right?
I have awoken.
Hey PK, thanks so much for coming a member as well. Battle Brother, nonetheless. You guys are coming in. I do appreciate that. Cool. If you just did become a member, right? We have a Discord room, !, Discord in chat, and then there's a members only room, so you can join us in there. Red Mist says, "Hey boss, I found you always try and watch your stuff. I found you and I always try and watch your stuff even when it's on playback. I have a question. Why the Chaplain with jump pack is a preferred power fist instead of a ranged weapon?" Because the power fist just lets you hit with extra strength and lets you hit with extra AP. And a one-shot Infernal Pistol or a one-shot Plasma Pistol, honestly, I feel like is not that exciting. Whereas, like, being able to get 3 extra strength and 1 extra AP on 6 attacks is, like, a lot more exciting. I think it just has a lot more potential. Right, you come up against enemy Terminators that save on 2s or something. If you hit them with a Crozius, they just save on 3s. You're not killing that many of them. Also, you're probably not wounding that many of them because you're only strength 6 on the Crozius. Power Fist is strength 8, so you're probably wounding a little bit easier. You're also adding that extra point of AP. I think that's worth giving up 1 attack for. And I mean, the thing is, if you've got the Crozius and the Power Fist, you can choose. Like, I think in one of my recent battle reports, I literally said to my opponent, I was like, "You have an invulnerable save, so there's no point me hitting you with AB2. And he's like, "Yes." And I was like, "Cool, so what's your toughness? Because if I can already wound you pretty good, then I'll use the extra attacks on the Crozius, right?" So having a Crozius and a Power Fist lets you choose the optimal melee damage output in melee. And let's face it, that's where your character's going to be. One-shot Infernal Pistol usually ends up miss. If it doesn't miss, it fails to wound, right? Like, there's whole games where you can shoot. Every unit's got a couple of Infernal Pistols. You shoot them all for the entire game. You don't fucking kill anything. You never even wound. You never, like, Infernal Pistols are fine, but they aren't big. When you only have one of them, it isn't half, like, temperamental, right? Why is Dante damage 2? I don't know, man. They made all of our characters damage 2. I mean, if you go back 1 edition, Astrath used to be able to do 4 damage a swing. We used to also be able to have a captain with 4 damage a swing. So why they left Dante in that damage 2, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is a cool list. My opinion is more Death Company, some sticky objectives, and maybe you could go like 3 less Sangry Guard. I don't know if I feel like Sangry Guard are really good in I mean, Sanguinary Guard are good in Rage Cursed, but I think Death Company are somewhat better. Boris says, I can't tell you how many times I attack with 2 Infernal Pistols and roll to hit, and it's 2 1s. Yeah, and I mean, when you, like I said, when you do end up hitting, you end up failing to wound, because you're usually shooting Infernal Pistols at, like, really nasty toughness stuff, right? So it's usually 5s to wound. So when you only have 1 shot, and you miss a third of the time, and when you finally do wound, you only wound a third of the time, right? The average for the Infernal Pistol is pretty bad. I mean, it's great when it goes through and it does like D3 plus melt the damage, right? It's great, but it just doesn't happen consistently enough. What do you think of Dante plus 10 Vanguard veterans? I think it's okay. I made a video about it a few weeks ago, man. You should check it out. You've obviously missed it. It's right there on the front page of the channel, right? I mean, the thumbnail, it should be pretty obvious. It was... I can't see it. There it is, Dante plus 10 and Vanguard veterans. Literally Dante and Vanguard veterans on the thumbnail 2 months ago. You missed it. Right there on the... You just... Whenever you go on the channel, just click over it. Like, so this is where you land when you come on the channel. Just click videos. And then it always kind of defaults to the newest videos, right? But you can also search this, right? So like if you just come into here and go like videos, you could just be like Dante. I said on one of my other streams, right? Like probably any video you think of, I've probably made it because I make a video every week. All right, we're looking at Gabriel Sierra's 2214 is his list. He's also playing Rage Cursed Onslaught. We're going with Terminators here. We've got Chaplain and Terminator armor with the shield. I think the shield's probably more valuable than the 2-shot Stormbolter. I actually don't even know. Is it a Stormbolter or a Combi Bolter that he gets? It must be a... I feel like it must be a... I guess a Stormbolter. Yeah. I think the shield for the extra wound probably is worth it, right? You then have a Chaplain with a jump pack with the Crozius and Infernal Pistol. Like, I would replace that Infernal Pistol with a Power Fist. We already just talked about that. We've Mephiston, Dante Lamartez, and then a Librarian on foot. That's an interesting choice. I think he just gives a unit a 4-up invulnerable save. He gives a unit a 4-up invulnerable save, and against psychic attacks to get 4-up feel no pain. That's a very niche thing, because it definitely feels like there's less psychic attacks kicking around. Except Bolter Death Company. What, you think Bolter Death Company are good? I missed the joke, Marius. Alright, and an Intercessor squad with a Power Fist and a Plasma Pistol and a bunch of bolt rifles, fine. Triple Ball Predator. Oh, aggressive. Triple Ball Predator. Haven't seen that. A Ballistus Dreadnought. A Death Company Dreadnought. 2 5-man Death Companies. The 6-man Sanguinary Guard. The 5-man Assault Terminators, all with Thunderhammers. I'm going to go out on a whim and say this list has not enough Death Company with jump packs. They're probably the best unit in this detachment, and you only have 10 of them. This is what I played at the tournament, 2 5-man units. And I think it was the wrong call. Like, in hindsight, I think I played the 6 Sanguinary Guard with spears. So I played this, and I think that it was the wrong call, honestly. I think the way you want to play this detachment is 20 Death Company, 2 10s, and probably the Sanguinary Guard and 3-man units that are probably unled. You could lead one of them, like with a captain or something, but you don't necessarily need to. What, the Librarian's going to attach to the unit of Intercessors to give them a 4-up invulnerable save? It seems like a reach. Like, I can't imagine... You know, like, if your Intercessors are getting targeted, they're probably dead. They're usually going to be standing in cover in an obscured position. So, a 4-up invulnerable save is probably not saving them. Triple Ball Predator is interesting. I mean, you could probably make Triple Ball Predator work, but then you'd probably have to get rid of one of these Dreadnoughts. I think you it doesn't really matter which way you go. But I think you like split the Sangre Guard into 2 squads. You drop Dante and bring in a captain. If you do that, you get back like 55 points. You drop one of the Dreadnoughts, so you potentially at like 215 points. You bump up one of these Death Company to the 10-man. You know, you're actually, like, at that point, you're actually, like, super close to actually being able to take 2 10-mans. Yeah, I think I'd probably aim to try and take 2 10-mans then. Try and get... This Librarian seems like a niche pick, honestly. I think your Intercessors are there to hold your backfield objective. If someone really wants to kill them, they'll kill them. I don't think having a 4-up invulnerable save and an extra 4-wound model on them really helps all that much. 3 Ball Predators is too much. Most you should do is a pair unless you're going really hard into Horde. Yeah, I mean, 3 Ball Predators probably is too much. 2 works pretty well. Do you think the Foot Chaplain for Battle Shock removal to re-enable defensive stratagems after popping limb for limb is worth it? I mean, if you can get your Foot Chaplain within range of your Death Company, so you've got the Feel No Pain or Fight on Death, yeah, it would be worth it. I think it would be, in practice, pretty difficult to do, because the Foot Chaplain's probably moving 6 inches and the Death Company are moving 12, plus advancing, plus charging, plus potentially a 6-inch scout move as well, right? So, like, there's a lot of factors. Yes, it will be handy to have that Foot Chaplain. He has a 12-inch aura. He can remove battle shock from anyone. I mean, that in general is good. But, like, yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, so probably one too many Ball Predators. I don't think the 6-man squad of Spears Sangre Guard is the right call in this detachment. I ran it to a tournament. The 6-man with Spears can do a lot of killing, but they're very hard to get their maximum value out of, right? Because they're Sangre Guard, you're a little bit more protective of them, so you kind of try and do things on the flank. When they get targeted, they do just die like everything else. They are just toughness 4 Marines after all. So yeah, I think in this list I'd probably be thinking, like, I can drop a Death Company, I can drop one of the Dreadnoughts, I can drop one of the Ball Predators, I could probably drop this Librarian, I could possibly drop Dante, and then I can bump up some of those Death Companies to 10-man. I think that's important. I could even split the Sangre Guard into 3 and 3, one led by Captain, one unled. I don't mind the Terminator pick. I don't mind the double Ball Predator, probably lose the triple. I think I kind of, if you're dead set on running 3, go be it, or so be it. But, yeah, I don't really typically double down on 3 of anything, right? Like, I wouldn't run 3 Vindicator tanks, probably wouldn't run 3 Predator Annihilators. I probably wouldn't run 3 Ballistus Dreadnoughts, like 3... Unless a unit is, like, crazy powerful, I probably wouldn't run 3 of them. And Death Company are pretty powerful, but I still only run 2 units of 10, right? I think 3 Ball Predators is probably overkill. It's a good unit. It shuts down Overwatch. Or, sorry, it shuts down units because of Overwatch. But it's not, like, game-breakingly strong, or it's not, like, amazing, and it... I mean, it's pointed pretty effectively. You can sticky in this attachment, which is nice. But yeah, you know, if we're swapping out Dante, if we're swapping out this Librarian, if we're swapping out this Chaplain, I'd probably consider giving one of my other units like the Fight First enhancement. Even the Terminator Chaplain would be a good choice for the Fight First enhancement. Fight First with all those Thunderhammers definitely would be useful. Also lets you I'll let you Rapid Ingress in, and then Heroic Intervene, and then declare Fight First. So you can save another unit from death. If you use them right with the Terminators and Deep Strike, right? Okay. Alright, next up. We're looking at It's Magic. It's an RCO list. I've been toying between taking Reavers and Incursors. I think, in general, my opinion is units that have Strength 4 in RCO are not that exciting, because you can't ever really get +1 to wound. You're only ever going to get +1 strength. So plus... So strength 4 I feel like is not that exciting. I'm unsure I like the fact Reavers... I'm unsure. I like the fact that Reavers are so cheap and have precision, meaning if they do kill a character, it'll be likely to make back their points and ruin the opponent's plan. But I get then Cursors are better for +1 to shoot for other units. I mean, Rage Cursed is a detachment that isn't needing, or doesn't really want to do a lot of shooting, in my opinion. So I don't know if you need +1 for other units to hit. Unsure what to do with the Vix. Do you mean Vitrix Scarred? The Ball Predator and Vindicator, but I've left 165 points. I like the Brutalis Dreadnought, but I understand the Gladiators better. I'm trying to figure things out for a major tournament we have in South Australia in January. Oh, in January. Okay, well, you are not a green name. Well, it's taken me a while to get to your list. I'm sorry. It'll be my first multi-day event. Let me know what you think. Okay, well, I'll let you know. And then, ironically, you'll have played the tournament, so you can give me... So, you know, maybe you can... so that's how long it takes, if you're not a green name, to get on the show. About 1 month. Alright, so we have Mephisto and Dante, Lamartez, Captain with a jump pack with a fight first, and a Tech Marine. Okay, we have a squad of Intercessors for Sticky. We have 10 Death Company with all the standard Death Company stuff. They'll be going with Lamartez. We have no other chaplains on this list. I don't love that. We have a unit of Hellblasters. We have a unit of Reavers. I don't know if I feel Hellblasters are that useful in this detachment. We have the 6-man unit of Sangreguard. So I already mentioned that I took that to a tournament, and I don't think it's the right way to play Sangreguard. I think they're going to be better in this detachment as 3 times 3. Take 9, but take them in 3 squads. Use them as skirmish units. We have a unit of Scouts. We have a unit of 10 Vanguard Veterans with lots of Infernal Pistols. That's like with Dante. We've got a Predator, Ball Predator. Then we've got a Lancer and a Vindicator tank. I mean, a Lancer is always useful, right? Like, it's got a Strength 14 cannon with 72 inches. It will typically do something. Vindicator tanks can be useful. I feel like you're probably putting too many eggs into the tank basket, though, right? With the Tech Marine, with a Lancer, with a Vindicator. Like, I ran a very similar tournament as well, where I played Rage Cursed with only 10 Death Company, 6 Sangreguard, and double Vindicator tank, and it didn't go badly. I mean, it went 3 for 2 for me. I was probably only 10-point losses on the 2 games that I lost. I can probably actually check that. Tabletop battles. I lost to... I lost to Nids by 12 points. I lost to Ultramarines by 8 points. Yeah, so on average, I lost by 10 points in 2 games. So it's not too bad. And I won the other games. I won against Drukari by 14. I won against Tau by 8. And I won against League of Votan by 23. So you can run Rage Cursed with a couple of shooting units. It is fine. But you're going to get the most value probably out of the 10-man Death Companies, and then those little 3-man units of Sangreguard with spears that can just kind of jump in and do 15 attacks and do a bunch of damage with +1 to wound, and can also battle shock for even more attacks and even more AP. I think that's how you should be running this detachment. Having only 2 melee units puts a lot of the heavy lifting on those 2 melee units. I guess the Vanguard Veterans aren't the worst in melee. They bring something. I guess they could get limb for limb to get EP2. So, I mean, I guess I don't hate the Vanguard Veterans as well. I think this list might do okay. I think this list probably get you 3 for 2. I feel like Hellblasters are not the right choice in this detachment. I feel like the Tech Marine is probably not the right choice as well. And I mean, if you want to run a Lancer or 2, it's fine, but you might be better off just taking more Death Company and getting in your opponent's face. I think the Death Company are probably... they're the standout in this detachment. There's just so much you can do with them, right? You can give them -1 damage with Lamartez, you can give them +1 to wound in a scout move, or you can give them +1 to wound and fight first. And I think those things on the Death Company are just really, really strong. I think that's what you should be focused around. So I like the Captain +6 Angry Guard with fights first enhancement, so you can rapid and heroic for 1 CP, but I can see that more Death Company is good. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Boris. Any unit that you can rapid and heroic with that has fight first is really good. Like I said in the last list, we could put that on the Terminator Chaplain. In this list, we can put it on the Captain with the Sangray Guard. I mean, I think that I think not having the fight first. Oh, sorry, he does have the fight first. Yeah, so this list does have the fight first. Dante's with the Vanguard veterans. My mistake. Yeah, I think this list is just leaning a little bit too much into shooting, and I think whatever Reavers can do is quirky, right? Like, Reavers are not really a competitive squad, not for Blood Angels. They're quirky at best. I mean, they get like a few bolt pistols with precision, but it's not going to be enough to be meaningful. And then I guess their knives do get precision. But most good players are not going to let you... Yeah, it's like 10 shots with no AP precision. I mean, I guess just work that out, right? Like, if you shot a Space Marine Captain 10 times with precision, so he hits 66%, you wound 50%, he saves on 3s. So, like, you know, the precision does 1 damage to a Space Marine Captain. Right. Well, I mean, that's 80 points to do a whole 1 damage to a Captain who's probably got 5 wounds. So you're never going to kill shit with their guns and precision. So then it comes down to their melee, and their melee and precision is a bit better. I guess if you limb for limb, it could be somewhat meaningful. But you're going to have to put them in and make a 9-inch charge. Most good opponents are not going to let you do that. They're going to screen you in the backfield. You know, like, most good opponents, there's nowhere for your units to come in their DZ for a couple of turns. So I feel like the Reavers are a bit of a... They fall... The idea behind them falls... It falls flat on its face. Yeah, Reavers were good for like the 1 week that they were able to move... Sorry, they were able to deep strike, shoot, move, then charge. Which was honestly like 1 week. They were good for like... I say 1 week. It was like a month. So Reavers were good for a month, but right now I wouldn't consider them at all. Alright, we're moving on to Blood Angels Arrestor. He's been cooking up an RCO list. It's Lamartez as a chaplain with a jump pack with fight first. Sorry, it's captain with the jump pack with fight first. It's the chaplain with the scout move, and then it's 2 Death Company captains with fists and flamers. I don't think Death Company captains are the right unit in this detachment. I think you just want chaplains for the +1 to wound, but let's see what he's done. We've got 5 intercessors on foot. We've got 6 Blade Guard veterans. We've got 10 Death Company, and then 5 Death Company, and then 6 Sangray Guard. I imagine they will be with that fight first captain. We've got scouts. We've got outriders. We've got a Ballistus Dreadnought. We've got double Lancer and an Impulsor. I feel like it's too much fire support for Rage Cursed. But let's read. Lamartez and 10 Death Company. The jump captain with the 6 Sangray Guard with the fight first, and the chaplain with the scout and Blade Guard in the Impulsor. Okay, so we do have 3 good melee units there. The 2 Death Company captains are free roaming in place of my usually regular combo lieutenant. Since they stick you on death instead of reactive move, one can always attach to the 5-man Death Company. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst idea. I don't think it's super strong, a single captain running around with a jump pack, but I mean, there's worse ideas. Yeah, I suppose they got sticky on death. The rest of my army is self-explanatory. I think I prefer having bikes over jump pack intercessors just because they don't go above strength 4 without help, and I don't see myself spending limb for limb on them instead of the CP or the sticky for fight on death. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with jump pack intercessors. Like, I think in this detachment, you just don't want jump pack intercessors. You just want those 3-man units of Sangray Guard, but they are obviously 35 points more than jump intercessors. Kevin says, what do you think about Assault Terminators in RCO with Terminator Chaplain? Lightning Claws seems like it would be pretty good into Catan with +1 to wound, especially with limb for limb. Yeah, I mean, I think I was kind of wanting to play some Terminators, man. I've got so many projects on the painting table at the moment. It's ridiculous. Rage Cursed is nice. It's reinvigorated me for the hobby a little bit more than I knew I needed to be reinvigorated, I guess. Mark says he's just back from a GT. How'd you get on, Mark? Thorgrim says 20 Death Company seems like the right call for RCO. Wish models existed. Yeah, I think 20 Death Company is the right number for RCO, or at least 20. Would Assault Terminators be good in lag? I think if they were good in lag, we would have seen somebody do something with them by now in the competitive scene, right? Like, Assault Terminators got buffed a few months ago. They're not the worst in lag. I mean, I suppose if you attach a chaplain, so +1 to wound, re-rolling wounds, they're not the worst. But I mean, they'd be good against Catan as well. We just don't see many people taking them, right? I was looking into Ball Predator, but can't seem to find any space over the Outriders and Death Company captains. I think if you want to take the Ball Predator, you have to get rid of some of these Lancers and Ballistus Dreadnoughts, right? Like, Rage Cursed Onslaught is I would say Rage Cursed Onslaught is a pressured attachment, right? You want to pressure your opponent so that they can't come out of their DZ. You want to be sending in lots of units all the time. You want to be multi-charging. You want to make them feel scared. It's not a detachment where you want to be sitting with 3 long-range, whatever they are, dreadnoughts, tanks, whatever you want to call them. It's not a detachment where we want 500 points of long-range shooting. I learned that the hard way at GT, and I feel like ever since doing that, I'm like, I wish I'd learned that before. So my advice for people that are putting las cannons and stuff into RCO is probably like, get those out. Krychek says swap the Lancers for 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts. Yeah, I think so, right? Because I hadn't played the Death Company Dreadnought before. I couldn't really understand how to play it, but the way I understand it now is you're just running at your opponent, right? You're running 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts. Like, I put mine on the flanks and I'm just running to the side field objectives. And if they shoot me, because they're going to shoot me, I'm going to Blood Surge move D6+2 towards those side field objectives. So pretty much if I advance turn 1, because there's not going to be a lot for me to do except advance turn 1, maybe 10 inches forward, they're going to shoot me on an average roll of like a 3 or a 4. I'm going to be another 6 inches forward. Turn 2, I move another 8. So I'm going to be 22 inches forward on both those dreadnoughts on the flanks, probably in turn 1. Sorry, turn 2, right? And then I can charge from there if I want, or I could advance and charge from there if I want, because that's an option. But regardless, meanwhile, you've got another units of Death Company, small units of Sangre Guard, jumping, staging, pushing forward on all flanks. I think that's what makes this attachment good, is you overwhelm your opponent. This playstyle, and I mean, it was a playstyle of mine for years now, right? Where, like, I would put in 3 units that have big cannons and las cannons, and I would shoot my opponent for a few turns till they're a little bit weak, and then I would jump on top of them and Liberator Assault Group and Angelic Inheritors. I think if that's what you want to do, that's probably the detachment you want to be playing. Because Rage Cursed is the opposite, right? Rage Cursed is like, you do so much damage. You want people to be scared of how much damage you do in melee, and then you just rush them. Like, there's not, like, people always used to say Liberator Assault Group was always be charging. This detachment is always be charging while you're on cocaine, right? Like, it's just go, go, go. Like, nothing can stop me. That old Charlie Sheen thing, when he was off the rails, he was like, that's what it is. I've got tiger blood. You just want to go. You don't want to do anything but go. And I had an interview this week, right, with that guy who was like one of the best. He's the guy that came like basically second in the Nottingham Super Major, because he lost to Innes, who won the thing, and he lost in the shadow round or whatever it's called, And I said to him, like, how do you play the Death Company Dreadnought? And he's like, you just send it. You just send it to be like, you're a Dreadnought, go, be happy. And whenever they shoot it, you can put it on a 5-up Feel No Pain. It's usually got cover. It's usually sitting on a 2-up save. It's going to Blood Surge, potentially out of line of sight of other things. So that's what I would say That's what you should be doing in this detachment. The idea is that their scouting impulsor is more flexible and moving to a staging position without being exposed is putting jump marines inside the transport that are impervious to charges. Also having a foot chaplain to unbattle shock is cute. They can always fool all in with scout, disembark, advance and charge if there's a blatant misposition. I gain as much value as having this threat than actually using it. The fight first captain is a pseudo sanguiner in reserve in most games except if they have turn 1 melee threats. In that case, he starts on the table. Yeah, so I mean, I did the same thing, right? Like, I had an impulsor, and I had a big, nasty squad of company heroes inside it, and I would stage them, and then I would come out, and the company heroes with limb for limb actually do, like, tons of damage. Oh, Nada, thank you so much for the 5 on the super chat. It's first day of the month. It's always nice to start the month off with the super chatters, whatever. So I appreciate you, dude. Just popped in to have some love and say I like your video. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. So yeah, I think I wiped a whole unit of Victrix Guard with my captain. Yeah, I killed 6 Victrix Guard with my captain and company heroes with limb for limb. I had a lieutenant in there for lethal hits as well. But, like, I did the exact same thing. I threw the impulsor forward and rage cursed. They came forward with the Victrix Guard. I disembarked, moved. I don't think I did advance and charge. I think I just charged them. Because he'd actually moved the Victrix Guard away from the Death Company. Like, he reactive moved them away from the Death Company, which meant they were more closer to the company heroes. And I think he underestimated the company heroes. But regardless, I guess my point is, I feel like Rage Cursed is a pressure detachment. If you want to run 2 Lancers and a Ballistus Dreadnought, by all means do that. But I don't think this is the right detachment for it. I haven't done your list today, Kevin. I saw you submitted it just before we went live. I'm late starting tonight because we had a bit of a disaster earlier with the kids. So hopefully we'll get you on the show next week. Speargrass says, here's 10 New Zealand dollars to start the month happy. Speargrass, thank you so much. You were here with like gifted subs last night. I appreciate it, dude. Dutch Left says, I spoke with Connor Jennings and he gave me his opinions about running RCO and he mentioned running 3 Death Company Dreadnoughts. If you're familiar with him, he won Adepticon back in 2015. Yeah, I mean, you could run 3 Death Company Dreadnoughts if you wanted. I think the trick, I suppose, with the Death Company Dreadnoughts is be careful because they need a character or a chaplain within 12 inches or they got no OC. So they can be a little bit tricky to play. But I ran 2 just this week past. On Wednesday night on the channel, I'm going to be playing Final Day Gene Stealer Cults. I haven't done Gene Stealer Cults on the channel for a while, so that's coming Wednesday night. I think I've got a Rage Cursed video coming out tomorrow as well, and then I'll have one on Friday like normal. So lots of Rage Cursed content coming, battle reports with Rage Cursed content coming, and yeah, I mean, I don't think I would run 3. Like I said, I don't typically like to run 3 of the same unit. I feel like 40k might be a better game if we limited it to 2 of the same unit, but that's not my decision to make, right? Like, anyone that, like, if you're playing in a tournament and you're running against someone who's got 3 of the same unit, does that not just mean that unit's very, very strong? Maybe it's fine, right? Like, 3 small units of Sangre Guard are fine, but I wouldn't run 3 units of 6 Sangre Guard, yeah? So, okay, Vindicators do solid work on the Titans. Vindicators are great, dude, I think, if you go second, right? Like, I played Rage Cursed, what was it, like 7 times or something, and when I went second, I had a 100% win rate. When I went first, I was a 50% win rate with the Vindicator tanks. The Vindicator tanks can't do shit if you go first. If you go second, your opponent kind of has to move forward, unless they're just going to hide everything for the whole of the first turn, and then your Vindicator tanks can pop out and kill stuff, right? We play rule of 1 in casual games. Yeah, maybe it should be like if you pick 3 of one unit, you can't pick 3 of any other unit. I don't know, man. But I think I tried to play 3 Redemptors previously, and I actually found that kind of hard. This was back last edition when I really liked Redemptors last edition. I don't know if you remember last edition. The Redemptor Fist was D3 plus 3 damage. Whereas this edition, it's just flat 3. So last edition, it was minimum 4 damage on that Redemptor Fist. And I felt like really like the Blood Angels Redemptors last edition. And also, I think the Plasma was AP4 last edition, and it wounded vehicles on like 3s typically. So, yeah, I really liked the Redemptor Dreadnought last edition, but when I played 3 of them, I didn't like it as much as I played 2 of them. Cool. So, Phil, thank you so much for the gifted subs. It's always nice to see you, Phil. I hope you're well. Onanada said, I was a Vindy hater, but I've been converted to a Vindy lover. I mean, here's the thing, right? Vindicator tanks, they do one of 2 things. You either have a game where every time you roll the dice for the number of shots, you roll 5s and 6s, and all game they just blow things off the table, or you have a game where they roll 1s and 2s all game and you do nothing, right? But, yeah, I mean, Vindicator tanks are a very reliable and good option. I just don't, I think if you want to play Vindicator tanks, it's probably Inheritors you want to be playing. Because Inheritors really struggle with high toughness enemies, right? And Vindicator tanks are going to help you out ever so much in Inheritors. I think if you want to play Inheritors, you probably want 2 Vindicator tanks and 6 Plasma Inceptors. I've made videos on that. Mark says he's just started weaning off the Vindicators. It's going really well, but I was terrified. Yeah, I mean, last week was the first time I played without Vindicator tanks in probably 6 months. It's probably been an embarrassing amount of time, Mark. Maybe even a year, right? Because I won the GT in summer 2023, and then I think I was playing something similar, but ironically, all the units I used to win that GT got nerfed. So I got carried a little bit by a data slate or whatever, and then after that, I moved on to the Vindicator tanks, right? I've been playing Night Lords recently. Very cool. Did I see that there's new Chaos battle boxes or something out this week? Predators do Jackal. Yeah, I really liked Predators before they made Death Shroud Terminators 4 wounds a model. So yeah, this is a I would say 75% of this list is perfect, right? And I mean, I even don't mind the Impulsor. What I would do if this was me would be I'd get rid of these Lancers, both of them. I'd probably add 2 more 3-man units of Sangry Guard, or I'd get rid of both the Lancers and the Ballistas, and add a Death Company Dreadnought, a Ball Predator, and make that second unit of Death Company a 10-man, and then you gotta do some jiggery pokery to make that work. I'd probably, yeah, I probably think you just, if you want to play Lag or Inheritors, keep that. If you want to play Rage Cursed, get that out and get more melee threats in. Because that's what Rage Cursed is. You want your opponent to be scared and hiding in his deployment zone, and you want him to be worried about how many units you've got that move 12 inches advance and charge, and then limb for limb. Right? Because it's scary, right? Do you see the game against Necrons this week? Andrew literally lined his whole army up behind his home field objective because he was like, how far do you move? And I was like, well, I've got a 6-inch scout move, then I've got a 12-inch move, then I've got an advance, then I've got a reroll charge. So, I mean, assuming an average roll on the advance, I'm getting 21 inches forward. Is that right? Yeah, 21. If you roll a 3 or above in the advance, you're getting 21 inches forward, and then you've got a rerollable charge for 10 Death Company with reroll hits, +1 or 2 attacks, +1 or 2, +1 strength or +1 AP, and it's just a suicide unit at that point, but they're just going to do so much damage to any unit you want at the front of his deployment zone, right? Yeah, you might have to battle shock them, but it could be worth it, right? Alright, we're looking at list number 5 for tonight, and this is submitted by Alex Mayer. And it's also Rage Cursed. Surprise, surprise. We just did Rage Cursed tonight. Do you know what? There was a period there was a period on this army list show, like just a few months ago, where I was moaning that every single list was Liberator Assault Group. So it's nice to have a change, right? I guess we're going through, we're still in the like honeymoon phase of Rage Cursed Onslaught. It's not been nerfed yet. We talked about that at the start of the stream. I was thinking about 2 Ball Predators plus a Hammer Strike and a Thunder Strike as the tanks in Inheritors. Do you know what? I just realised that a Thunder Strike could actually be interesting with 2 Ball Predators. Am I making more changes to my own list? I'm going to play my own list as it is 2 or 3 more times. I filmed myself building that list, and like it's like a 45-minute long video probably of like my thought process behind that whole list. The video is edited, it's uploaded. I just need to do a thumbnail, description and all that shit. So it'll probably come out tomorrow night. But no, I'm not going to change. I like to play lists 4 or 5 times, and then when I do change things, I only like to change like 1 or 2 units at a time. So it's like small iterations, you know, like because I always feel like you need a good baseline. You need like a baseline of where you're at, and you don't want to fuck with things too much, right? So there'll be a new... Yeah, I don't even think I named that video yet. I think I just made it. I think I made it on Thursday night. I was really tired on Thursday night. I've been doing this new diet for the new year. You know, like everybody's been doing diets for the new year. I'm determined to lose some weight this year. So I remember just, my wife was like, you want to watch something on telly? And I was like, I do, but if I don't film this video or if I don't edit this video, I'm going to fall asleep. So, where's the likes on the stream, says Zach. Good evening, Zach. How are you? I have no idea. YouTube actually changed the back end. It's obnoxious now. From like while I'm live, I used to be able to see like likes, concurrent viewers, and all that really easily, and they just changed the back end. YouTube just does this. Whoever coded the back end obviously does not have a YouTube channel, because it's like it doesn't show you the likes anymore. It shows you the graph of concurrent people watching, but it doesn't show you likes. It's so dumb. Test and learn approach is sensible, said Andrew. Hello, Andrew. All right, we are looking at Alex's list. So we've got a fight first ancient. Oh my goodness, this is a change. I've never seen someone take an ancient and given him fight first. I'm not even really sure what he can attach to. That's the fun thing with this show, is someone always has something unorthodox that we don't know about. I am assuming he's going to attach to Assault Intercessors or Stern Guard. I don't know what else the hell he could attach to. Okay, we've got a Captain with a Sustain 2 enhancement. We have a squad of Assault Intercessors, and we have an Impulsor. All right, so this is all going to be in the Impulsor. So Assault Intercessors with a potential fight first. And a Captain with Sustain 2 inside an Impulsor. So my problem here probably is just Assault Intercessors. They're Strength 4. Strength 4 kind of sucks. I know they get reroll 1s to wound, and I know they get reroll all wounds if you're on an objective, but Strength 4 still sucks. And paying points for fight first on a Strength 4 unit, in my opinion, is worthless. I mean, it's not worthless, but like, you'd pay points on Blade Guard to fight first. You'd pay points on Sanguinary Guard or Terminators to fight first. Would you pay points on Strength 4 to fight first? I feel like I don't do that. Excuse me. I've had a bit of a... I'm a bit congested, man. There's like illness going around in Scotland. Excuse me. Anytime YouTube makes a change, it's for the worst. Yeah, it really is. Valrak was telling me, or I was watching a video on Valrak this week where they were showing that like a legitimate 40k channel had been banned by like an AI bot, and they couldn't speak to a human. That happened to me on my channel before, actually. I don't want to say why, but my channel got suspended from live streaming for like 3 or 4 days by their algorithm, right? And it was like, I was in the middle of a live stream, the live stream instantly just got cut out. And it's like, you're suspended from live streaming. And I was like, why? And then it gave me the reason. I was like, all right, so like a human has never seen this. But I guess that's the scary future, right? Like where humans are not needed anymore. In general, not just for YouTube, but for the whole world, you know? Anyway, we'll worry about AI. We'll worry about the AI taking over another day, right? It's pretty funny though, actually. You know, like if you've ever read the Dune books, there's that whole thing in Dune where they had a giant war. This is before the movie. There was a giant war about AI, and that's why there's no computers in Dune, because like they decided that computers were getting too smart. They're going to take over everything, and like that's why they have like that guy that's like he can like access fast calculations. He's called like a Mentat. Can't remember exactly. Yeah, too hot for YouTube. Next time, don't stream in a swimsuit. Yeah, that was it. I was doing a hot tub. I was doing a hot tub stream. That was it. Anyway, so we've got, yeah, I just think fight first. In this detachment, you could put fight first on 10 Death Company. You can put it on 6 Angry Guard with lances. You can put it on Blade Guard that can have like 40 odd lethal hits. Why would you put it on Assault Intercessors? It's not worth it. It's not a good way to spend that points. And unless you're fighting against like Kroot or Eldar or something that's like toughness 3 and 4. If you're going into anything else, chainswords are pretty underwhelming. Or guardsmen. Cool, we can kill some guardsmen. Oh, we've got a lot of Dune fans in the house. Do you know what? I'm really looking forward to that third movie. I actually have like a limited edition print of the first movie. Is that I don't know what they called the reboot. Was it just called Dune? Like the one that, like, you know, the first one like 3 years ago or 4 years ago now. I've got like one of the proof posters from that movie. It's pretty cool. Anyway, Mephiston on his own doing Mephiston thing. We've got Dante with a 6 Sangri Guard. Dante in this detachment with Sangri Guard. Is he needed? Sangri Guard hit on 2s anyway. Could you just save 45 points and have a captain in there? What's Dante bringing? I guess he's bringing +1 on the advance and charge. He's bringing the battle shock. I mean, he is bringing potentially 10 attacks at AP3. He might even be AP4 actually, because I think Dante's AP. Yeah, I think he's going to be AP4, right? Because Dante's normally AP3. I mean, 10 attacks on AP4 is probably, with lethals. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's probably fine. I mean, I feel like if you desperately need points, you could just take a captain and save 45 points. Is he 45 points better than a captain when the captain can give you the free stratagem? It's hard to say, right? I saw Hans Zimmer live in concert in December. He said then he was about to go off and score the third movie. Dude, I saw... Alright. We have to geek out about Dune for a second. I've got the Hans Zimmer Dune. I've got the soundtrack on, what are these called? Vinyls? Coloured vinyl, limited to 3,000 copies. My issue is, I don't have a vinyl player at the moment. I used to have one. I plan on getting one again. But I couldn't let this slip past me, right? Like, I love the music for that. I think it's 2 or 3 coloured vinyls. So I haven't taken out the cellophane yet, but I promise you I will. Anyway, yeah, Dante 50-50 in this. I feel like, yeah, he's fine. He's fine. I don't think he's worth 45 points more than a captain. Lamarta's +5 Death Company. Oh, no. 10 Death Company with Lamarta's. Come on. 10 Death Company. Yeah. I need peace from the kids. I need a new record player because my old one broke. And then I just want to sit in a room and, I don't know, drink a whiskey or something.
I have awoken.
Listen nice and loud. Awful Gamer has become a member. I think he already became a member. I don't know why that popped up now. Lamartus plus 10 Death Company. That's what we need. Astrath plus 5. I want to do a video on Astrath, honestly. Because I think he could be interesting. What I want to actually do is take Lamartus plus 10 Death Company and Astrath plus 10 Death Company and throw them at a Catan, right? Because Catan's -1 to hit and has really high toughness. Not -1 to hit, sorry. -1 to wound, really high tough. No, -1 damage, get that right. And really high toughness. So I want to actually math out Astrath with his devastating wounds, Lamartus with his lethal hits, throw them at a Catan and see how much damage each one does. But regardless, I think if you're building a Rage Curse list, it has to be 10 Death Company, it has to be Lamartus. We then have a 5-man squad of Assault Intercessors. We have the Baal Predator, the Ballistus Dreadnought. We already touched on, like, I don't think Ballistus Dreadnoughts are the right unit to be adding to Rage Cursed. I think it's fine to play Blood Angels and have las cannons. I think both Liberator Assault Group and Angelic Inheritors do that somewhat pretty well. Right? I think if that's how you want to play your Blood Angels, go do that. Because those detachments do it well. Rage Curse, you've got nothing that makes the shooting better. And I feel like you should just have more melee distractions like Death Company Dreadnoughts. I feel like the Chaplain is so much better for the Scout enhancement. Yeah, I kind of feel like the Chaplain is probably going to be better than Astrath. But like, I want to do the actual math on these two units, the 10-mans with the two characters, and see if we can actually get a definitive answer that just says Astrath isn't, like, I feel like Astrath just isn't that great, but I guess I want to get the definitive answer. We then also have a Vindicator tank. We've talked about Vindicator tanks. I even ran Vindicator tanks in Rage Curse to a tournament, and I think it was the wrong call, and I'm not going to do it again. If you go first, they suck. If you go second, they're amazing. Here's the thing: 50% of the time, you're going to go first. And in the tournament I was just at, excuse me, the tournament I was just at, I went first 4 times. So double Vindicator tanks are not amazing. In fact, they're kind of a liability if you go first, because they can't do anything. They can just move up and then they get shot. In Liberator Assault Group, in Liberator Assault Group, I think you take like Ballistus Dreadnoughts and Predator Destructors. I think they're really good. And Angelic Inheritors, you can take Vindicator tanks, but it's a much more cagey detachment that doesn't need to push out quite as hard, so that's why they make sense. If you're shooting, just use Gladius. I mean, Gladius is an Ultramarines detachment, let's be real. I mean, it's kind of been replaced now by the Blades of Ultramar, which is it's just a stronger version of Gladius. But I think it's fine, like, well, like, just for argument's sake, right? Like, I know this is going back a bit, but like, let me see if I can find it just to finish off the stream. I'm trying to think when it would be. Yeah, okay, I got it. So look here. I finally won a 32-player GT, right? This is the GT that I won using shooting in my Blood Angels list. This is what the list looked like. So we had, like, Assault Squad number 1. I guess this was like Assault Intercessors, but at this point they were just Assault Marines because Assault Intercessors just come out. Assault Intercessor Squad number 2. It was the Company Heroes unit inside the Impulsor with the captain. It was Chaplain plus 5 Death Company, Chaplain plus 5 Death Company, Dante, this was before they changed them to 6, but Dante plus 10 Sangre Guard, Infiltrators, Scouts, Outriders. Oh look, there's the other 2 Jump Intercessors, more Outriders. So it was like double Outriders, double Outriders, double Outriders, double jump intercessors, double 5-man Death Company with Captain, Dante plus 10 Sangre Guard, Company Heroes plus inside the Impulsor, double Predator with las cannons and autocannon, and then Ballistus Dreadnought, right? And that was first out of 32 players. Just 4 characters, which was actually low, right? Like the Captain, the 2 Chaplains, Dante, nothing battle line, the Impulsor, double jump intercessor, the Ballistus, the Company Heroes, the Death Company, that second Death Company, the Infiltrators from a backfield, the 2 Outriders, the Predator, the 10-man Sangre Guard. Man, that was when the Sangre Guard could take 10 Infernal Pistols. How fucking carried was I? They jump in, they shot 10 Infernal Pistols with Dante with a +1 to advance. Or +1 to charge, excuse me. And then Scouts. Scouts were cheaper back then as well. Predator Destructors were cheaper back then. Death Company were a little bit more expensive, but Luke carried, again, 5 Infernal Pistols per Death Company. God, so this list had 20 Infernal Pistols. Ballistus Dreadnought was cheaper back then. Jump Intercessors was cheaper back then. So basically the moral of the story was everything was cheaper. And I was able to take 20 Infernal Pistols. But you can win events with Blood Angels with shooting, because it did it. In Liberator, well, I didn't, you know. I do worry. I do wonder if I'm just not a GT winner. But if you just give every model an Infernal Pistol, it makes things kind of easy, right? Yeah, people didn't. I always rapid ingress that Sangre Guard with 10 Infernal Pistols. Yeah, that was bonkers, man. So yeah, this list I would swap out the Fight First on a Strength 4 unit. I don't think it's worth it. And I also feel like what I said, Ballistus and Vindicator tanks, they're not the right units for Rage. If you want to do that, go look at some of the other videos I made on Liberator. Assault Group, swap these things out for Death Company Dreadnoughts and get some of these Death Companies up to 10-man. Lamarta's Death Company has to be the 10-man. They're literally your best unit. So I think my advice is if you're playing Lamartas and 10 Death Company, you put them in strategic reserve every game, right? Like, you just get the most value you possibly can out of that unit. And you do that by having it in strategic reserve to drop down with a rapid ingress. I like the 3-man units of Sangre Guard. It's a real pity we don't have another one. I'd probably be trying to find a way to get another one. I don't think the 5-man assault intercessors on foot are all that meaningful. So maybe it's like you drop the Vindicator and the... I mean, you could literally just drop the Vindicator and the 5-man assault intercessors and put in 2 more 3-man units of Sangre Guard. I kind of already like this more. Or put in another unit of 3-man Sangre Guard and get Lamarta's Death Company up to 10-man. And I instantly like that more. I wish Astaroth could lead other jump units. You know what's ironic in the book, man? The Astaroth book, he doesn't lead Death Company. In the Astaroth book, he's got like his own little repertoire of like honor guard that are not Death Company, that follow him around, and their mission is to kill the people that fall into the Black Rage. He doesn't lead the Death Company in the book anyway, or the Astaroth book. Is 633 Sangre Guard a decent split in RCO? Yeah, I think it's decent. I think my personal opinion is the best way is the 333 split, Kevin. But I think 633 is definitely an okay split. I think bottom line, you need to have... I think bottom line, you need to have... $20 Death Company. I'm trying to think. I'm sure I made a video about that, saying that you need to have 20 Death Company. I'm sure it was in one of my recent videos. Oh, what video was that in? I'm trying to think what videos I've made recently on Rage Cursed. Yeah, I can't think which video it was in, but I feel like I did. It definitely had a picture. The Seraphim. I don't remember what they called them in the book. I've got the book right here, though. Astrath Angels of Mercy. That was the name of the book. It must have been one of the... It must have been... God, I made a slide on this. I just can't think what it was. Oh, it was probably in the video I recapped the tournament, right? Yeah, this slide, right? The two... If you're starting a Rage Curse list and you don't know which direction to go, I think you should start with Lamartas and 10 Death Company. You start with 2 Chaplains and 5 Death Company in each, and then 3 unled Sangre Guard with Spears. That gives the 10-man... Sorry, I put subtitles on everything. Let me turn those off. It gives the 1 crazy 10-man Death Company, which you should put in reserve. It gives you 2 5-man units that you're totally fine to trade with, that get lance, or, you know, they get +1 to wound all the time. You can trade those away, one of which can easily be a 10-man with a scout enhancement, and then your 3-man units of Sangre Guard get a very good number of attacks. They're like infantry blenders. They don't do too badly into armor or elites as well, because they've got lance as well, and they hit on 2s, and they reroll 1s to wound. So that's kind of it for this week. Sorry, I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit, guys. New video coming out tomorrow night. Battle report on Wednesday night. Video on Friday as normal. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, guys. It's so nice to see all of you every Sunday night. Hopefully I gave you some food for thought for your next list. But if you want to see my process on how I'm building how I built the current Rage Curse list that I'm running, which was on the channel and just beat Necrons last Wednesday, and we'll be playing the exact same list into GSC on Wednesday night. Keep an eye out. There should be a video out tomorrow night. Probably be like... I'll probably be out a little bit later than normal, like about 9 o'clock, because I'll need to put the kids to bed, then I'll do the description, the thumbnail, all that sort of good stuff. So, cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see some of you live on Wednesday night. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening. I appreciate you all, brothers. We'll see you all soon. If any of you are not yet in the Discord, get your arses over there, because, you know, I try and speak in the Discord kind of every day. And we've got a pretty big community over in the Discord, so you should totally join us. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.